Ladies and gentlemen, it's finally time. And by that I mean it's finally time to dive right into Persona 4 Arena, just Persona 4 Arena Ultimax. It's not the Ultimax Ultra Suplex Hold anymore. As you can tell, there's stuff in English, and you can actually read it and understand it. Unless you're in Japan, then you could probably just read all the stuff that was in the import version. But this is the full American retail release, and we're gonna dive right into the story mode. We're gonna start with episode P4, which that's just how it starts off with. And then once we get through this, we'll do the Persona 3 one, and then once we get through that, we'll do the Adachi one. Because, well, those two actually unlock at the same time, but we'll eventually just do those in order, essentially. So let's just dive right in. I'm gonna hit the X button right here. There you go. And now I can actually understand all these subtitles in here. So we're gonna start off with the prologue, and then we're just gonna go straight into it after that. So here we go.
So you will not require our assistance. Is that correct?
Also, you get to hear the new Margaret voice actress and the new Igor voice actor, which that's gonna weird you out the most, I think, in this entire game. Like as far as voice actor changes go. But let's go on.
Very well. In that case, there is nothing more to be said. As for your presence here, this room is ordinarily only accessible to those bound by a contract. You are fated to refine your power. You will most definitely require our assistance, eventually. Until we meet again, farewell. Most intriguing.
You know, since I did have the Japanese version of this, I should have looked and seen what they did with the Japanese voice acting. I should just turn off my phone. Just because I know the original voice actor for Igor in the Japanese version passed away, so they've just been recycling his lines since then. So I wonder what they did with this part, especially.
Are you certain about this? Our domain is indivisible from the destiny of our guests. Nothing meaningless happens in this room, which can only mean that the fate of our visitor just now will be...
Margaret?
Pardon. I spoke out of turn. We are only allowed to watch over and assist those guests who are bound by the terms of the contract.
Indeed.
So, the young man Yu Narukami is tied to our recent guest's fate. I wonder what fate, or rather, encounter will await him. Yu Narukami. Now that's a guest who never ceases to amaze.
Look at this. I can actually read all these texts, so I'm just going to actually read them. It's May 5th, the day after we saw Labrys and the Shadow Operatives off. So yeah, literally the day after the events of Persona 4 Arena. We're in the corner of the chaotic as usual Junes food court.
I had a hunch this was gonna happen.
Well, your hunch isn't getting us anywhere. What are we supposed to do? There's not a single open seat.
That's just how it goes at Junes during Golden Week. And on Children's Day at that. If it wasn't this busy, we'd be out of business by now.
Today's Children's Day?
Huh?
I should have brought Nanako.
That's what you're worried about?
Watching the kids run around, I think back to Nanako's face when I told her I'd be going out. She looked like she wanted to say something. I feel bad I didn't ask her about it. But given what we came to talk about, I couldn't take her with me. I wonder if she's watching TV alone now, like she usually does. Way to bring it down.
Yo, Senpai! I got us some seats.
Ooh, good job, Kanji.
That's pretty impressive, Kanji. Especially for you.
Damn it, Ted! Leave the especially for you part out next time.
All right, break it up. No fighting, guys.
That comes later in the game.
Let's go, Yukun.
Right.
With Yukiko spurring us on, we move to the seats Kanji saved. There's a table for 4 with 6 chairs he found somewhere. After waiting for everyone to be seated, Yosuke clears his throat, as if to drive away all the noise.
So it's a great day out and,
Dude, I don't think this is the time for that.
well, how else should I start off? Look at the size of this crowd.
I'd say I made the right call showing up like this. If I came in my usual costume, the little kids would be swarming my adorable bod. I'd be mobbed.
Oh yes, I've seen how the children tear off your fur from time to time.
Wow! Are you being nice to me, Yuki-chan? Has our love finally blossomed?
Huh? Of course it hasn't.
Yukiko with the shade.
Shot down as always.
It's because you never learn.
Well, let's get down to business. We didn't get to talk much yesterday after all.
I nod to Chie. We gathered here yesterday after seeing Labras off, but there wasn't time to calm down and talk about what happened. In the end, we agreed to leave the details to tomorrow, which is now today. From the way this seems, I did not miss anything, like any of these like exposition parts. Like, yeah, all the talking head stuff just covers everything. All the stuff is just fluff.
Don't worry about the crowd. Let's start the investigation team meeting anyway.
Yeah, though we are missing 2 people.
It's just not the same without our full roster of pretty girls. Oh, not only Rise-chan, but Nao-chan couldn't be here either.
Well, it's not like the other day, where we just lost contact with Rise.
She seems really busy. She said she had work during the holidays too. At least we got to talk to her yesterday.
Yeah, Nato-kun's job is keeping her busy too. I guess it's the same old for them.
Naoto-kun knew things about what happened that not even we did. Apparently she knew about Mitsuru-san and her friends from the start.
Thanks to her, though, we got some good information.
Well then, let's get everyone up to speed on what happened using that info.
Yosuke's right. So much has happened these past few days that none of us has a good grasp on it all. We need to sort through what we've learned again.
What was it that started it all? Midnight Channel again, I guess. I thought I was dreaming for a good chunk of it, so it's not really hitting me.
The Midnight Channel. That TV world we helped to restore peace in. It ended up being used by someone else in the Labras incident. Fade to black. Here's some pictures from the last game. Labras is the 5th generation anti-shadow suppression weapon, a girl with a mechanical body who was stolen from the Kirijo Group, one of Japan's biggest conglomerates. Someone threw her into the TV world. The Labras faced her other self, or her other suppressed self there, and by accepting it, she awoke to her persona. That mostly wrapped things up. Also, if you just want to play through the original game storyline, you could buy the $10 DLC that's available right now. However,
So who exactly was it that put Labras inside the TV? And why?
At first, I thought the culprit was jealous of my popularity and tried to break us friends up.
But that wasn't it. Their goal was to disrupt our hearts by making us fight each other, and then steal our personas after they returned to being shadows.
Naoto said as much too.
I don't know. Turning them back to shadows and stealing them. That doesn't sound like something just anyone could pull off.
Maybe not, but we know for certain that the culprit was using that method to try and gather powerful shadows.
Gathering shadows, huh? That's definitely not something any normal person would do.
the atmosphere darkens after Yosuke's remark. During the silence, I recall the events leading up to yesterday. We had once again entered the TV world to figure out why the Midnight Channel was broadcasting again. What we found there was a strange fighting tournament called the P1 Grand Prix. At the heart of it was Labris. There you see you and Arakami doing his best Phoenix Wright impersonation. Having gone through severe trials as a weapon with a heart, she gave birth to her shadow, a suppressed version of herself, which twisted her dream of wanting to be a normal schoolgirl. It all resulted in the P1 Grand Prix, designed to pit people against their friends. After we entered the TV, we got wrapped up in battle, just like Labris' shadow planned, and were forced to fight one another. But we also met members of a mysterious organization known as the Shadow Operatives, who were in search of Labris, and their leader, Mitsuru Kirijo, I don't know why I butchered that so badly, the CEO of the Kirijo group. It was with their help that we conquered the tournament. Welcome to me butchering Japanese names. Part 38. They were using the power of personas before we were. It was reassuring, in a way, to meet people who deal with shadows day in and day out. But the case isn't over yet. We couldn't find out why the culprit put Labris in the TV to begin with. We don't even know who did it. Mitsuru-san and her people seem to have some idea, but that doesn't mean we can ignore what happened in our town. That's what happens when you read ahead, you like get weird pauses. So we made the decision to investigate the case on our own too.
That reminds me. How are things inside the TV?
The thought suddenly crosses my mind, so I asked Teddy. After we settled the first case, the TV world turned into a beautiful place. But it wasn't that way anymore during the P1 Grand Prix. I wonder what happened there after we saved Labris. Ellipses.
Still the same. It should go back to normal eventually, but the P1 Grand Prix had such an effect that it's still noisy there. Oh, but,
Huh? But what? Quit mumbling and just spit it out.
it's hard to say for sure, but I sense these weird presences. They feel kinda like shadows, but not really.
Weird presences? You mean there's something strange in there?
I don't really know.
What could it be? The culprit, maybe?
Maybe, but maybe not.
We all look at each other after hearing Teddy's evasive answer. If something's in the TV world, it can only be a shadow. Someone besides us who knows about that world, or someone who can use a persona.
Huh? How would that make sense? The culprit wasn't a persona user, right?
He did say that he used Labris because he couldn't enter the TV world himself.
That's right. The only people who can enter the TV world are persona users. For a normal person to get in, they would have to enter alongside a persona user. If someone who doesn't have a persona falls in, for whatever reason, they're in serious danger. Either the shadows already dwelling there or their own shadow might end up killing them.
So, wouldn't that mean this weird thing Ted's talking about can't be our bad guy? Or maybe the culprit can shove people into a TV even though he's not a persona user.
I can understand Kanji's doubts, but unfortunately, we don't have enough information right now to say either way.
There's one more thing that bothers me.
What is it?
It's something Naoto said.
I tell everyone what Naoto left me with yesterday. She said that when Mitsuru-san's plane was hijacked, as a diversion from Labris' kidnapping, the hijackers had no memory of their actions. Intrigue. They might have been brainwashed or hypnotized, but either way, it couldn't have been done by a normal person.
There's so much we don't know.
But no matter what the culprit was trying to do, if he was after us in the TV world, I doubt this case will wrap itself up.
I agree. Oh, then does that mean...
Too bad for Mitsuru-san, but we're gonna ignore her request not to get involved.
When Mitsuru-san and her people left, they told us not to get involved in any further with this case. I like how it's like Mitsuru-san and her people. We knew why they said that, of course. They were worried about our safety. Still...
Ah! So the investigation team's back in business.
Yep. Feel a little bad doing this to Mitsuru-san, but we can't just leave this be. We can fight too. And heck, this is our town, so it's practically our duty to do this.
I'm in too. After all, I am Labby-chan's knight. Plus, I can't sit on the sidelines after seeing what this culprit did to my world. It had gotten so peaceful thanks to you guys.
I knew they felt this way, but I nod firmly after seeing everyone still in agreement.
So it's decided.
Mm-hmm. We have to return the favor of getting stuck with those strange epithets, too.
Everyone looks away, briefly after hearing this. Those nonsense nicknames that got broadcast during the P1 Grand Prix made no small stir in our daily lives. Although personally,
About that makes me so mad. What was that carnivore whose discarded womanhood stuff all about? I could swear people cross the street now when they see me.
Really? I was actually pretty impressed.
Huh? Is that how you think of me, Yukon?
No, that's not what I meant.
That reminds me. You seem to like that Sister Complex Kingpin of Steel nickname.
Did he?
Sensei, have you awakened to a new name? Should I call you Kingpin from now on?
yes, absolutely, Teddy. I wonder if it's just my imagination that what Yosuke said just now hurt worse than the nickname. All I meant was that those nicknames weren't that bad. Still, I admit, I was honestly impressed at how precise each of those taunts were in striking at each of our hang-ups.
This sure has turned out to be some Golden Week. And after you took the time to come see us, too.
No kidding. Shit got stirred up the day you came back, like someone planned it that way.
Everyone nods at Kanji's words, everyone except Yosuke. Unlike the others, he just shoots me a slightly bleak glance. I know what it means, but I'll let him say it.
That actually does still bother me a bit.
What do you mean?
Oh, I guess the timing? It's like whoever did this was waiting for you to come back.
I agree with him. The incident with Labras happened right when I returned to Inaba for Golden Week. It was timed as if whoever set this up was just waiting for me to get back in town. I mean, they probably couldn't really make a good game if it was just the investigation team without the Persona 4 main character. Though, I mean, I would still totally play that game.
Well, I guess there's no need to think about that now. Oh yeah, where's Marie-chan?
Oh yeah, we added this character after the first game, and let's subsequently retro-con her back in, or into this game. Thumbs up!
She's elusive as always. It looked like she was buying something at Sozai Daikaku the other day.
What? Nobody told Emi-chan that Sensei was visiting?
Well, it is Marie-chan we're talking about. I'm sure she's noticed that Yukon's back.
Marie. She was another one involved in the first case we solved here in Inaba, only if you played Persona 4 Golden. We helped her regain her lost memories, and she now protects this town as a minor goddess who supports the townspeople here.
Huh? Then, why hasn't she shown up? I mean, if she knew that Senpai's back, you'd think she'd be the first to show.
There's a storm a-brewing.
Where'd that lightning come from all of a sudden?
Oh, look at those insane rain clouds. It's gonna start pouring soon for sure.
That's when I noticed that the thick crowd of customers here has gotten pretty sparse. As if following the families hurrying back inside, we also get up from our seats.
Jeez, the weather report has been way off the mark lately.
Oh, sorry, that's mine. Hello? Oh, Kase-san.
We move away from Yukiko a little to give her some space to talk.
That reminds me, Labras is a robot, right? Would she rust if she got caught out in the rain?
Kanji asking the hard-hitting robot questions.
Nah, I doubt it. The Kirijo group developed her after all, and they wouldn't be that cheap.
Mid-chan's group sure is amazing. Her stuff is way better than Junes brand electronics.
Shut up! And don't go dissing your own employer.
I mean, I would do that all the time when I worked at Walmart. Whoops. As Yosuke and Teddy snipe at each other, Chie gazes up to the cloudy sky. When she notices me looking at her, she shakes her head, telling me not to worry.
Labris is with Mitsuru-san and her friends, right? I wonder how she's doing.
After the P1 Grand Prix, Labris joined Mitsuru-san's shadow operative since she has a persona now. Even as we speak, she and her companions are probably chasing the culprit who threw her into the TV.
Don't worry, I'm sure she's doing fine. If all goes well, we'll see her again in no time.
Yeah, since we made our decision to stick our noses into this case, that means we're after the same thing Labris and the shadow operatives are. It seems possible we might meet up with Labris again, somewhere soon. Then again, we're doing this without Mitsuru-san's permission, so I can't say I'm eager to run into them.
Yeah, you're right. Man, I should stop being such a worrywart.
Hey, looks like Yukiko-senpai's off the phone.
Oh, welcome back, Yukiko. What was the call about?
It was the inn. It seems a group of our guests is still out. We didn't have any umbrellas ready for them, so I think a lot of them will come back drenched. Sorry, I have to go back for a bit.
Oh, right. I forgot this is a busy time for the Amagi Inn, too.
Actually, shouldn't we be heading home ourselves? Ugh, if this keeps up, I bet it'll keep raining into the night.
Raining, huh? That thing's not gonna come on again, is it?
Everyone turns around at Yosuke's words. He says, "that thing," but we all know what he means. He's talking about the Midnight Channel, which came on at midnight on a rainy day. I guess it would be a rainy night. The weather was just like this during the incident with Labris too. As if to break the silence, we hear another roll of thunder, closer than the one a moment ago.
In any case, let's meet up again tomorrow to check up on the TV world.
Okay, I'll see you all here tomorrow, and I'll make sure to let Risei-chan know too.
I'll call up Naoto-kun, though I don't know yet if she'll be able to make it.
Cool deal. Well, see you guys tomorrow.
Well, we hastily end the investigation team meeting before it starts raining. As I see Yosuke starting to leave after everyone else, I ask him about the issue he raised earlier.
What do you think, Yosuke, about the timing of all of this?
Oh, that. I don't know, I might be overthinking this, but if the culprit happens to know you, would that give some hint of who it might be?
It was an understandable question, but I can't help but look askance at him. I guess that would be what it... let's go with that. If the culprit had investigated me, of course he'd know something about me, but not my plan to stay in Inaba during Golden Week. It'd have to be a person who knows me, plus knew that I was coming here during the break. Is there anyone who'd know all that?
Is it possible that it could be Adachi?
Adachi-san?
This time, I'm caught completely off guard, and all I can do is dully repeat the question. Toru Adachi, the man who was arrested in the Midnight Channel murders. He should be in police custody now. Which is ironic, since he used to work for my uncle as a police detective at Inaba Station. With his rap name, Young Detective, he also put out the greatest rap hits in all of Inaba. We do have quite a history, so obviously he knows about me, and I can't rule out that Dojima-san might have told Adachi-san about my vacation plans.
No, it wouldn't be him. He has a persona.
Oh, yeah, good point. Sorry, I wasn't trying to weird you out.
Where'd it go, Yosuke? Yosuke's tone is apologetic, and he scratches his head. But really, I should be the one apologizing. I didn't just deny that it could have been Adachi-san because he's a persona user. The real reason is that deep down, I trusted what Adachi-san said about abiding by the rules of this world, and when he called me a dumbass. But if it's not him, then who? The gray clouds filled the sky over our heads, mirroring the confused anxiety we shared. Boy, is there a lot of exposition in those non-talking parts.